So earlier I was in a shit mood because I had to do a bunch of administrative stuff and all I wanted to do was edit video. But then once I got all that done, I still committed to editing the video. And now I'm in a way better mood, I think just because I weathered the rest of it. And Kyle's here. The thing about today's workday is it represents how different the nature of my work has become in the past year. But it's also coming at a time where it's going to change heading into the next year. So start of the year, my job was primarily reporting, managing other reporters, making videos. Now my job is overseeing video across all of my company's publications, overseeing podcasts across all of my company's publications, hosting a podcast, and then reporting, managing reporters, making videos. And next year, my hope is all of my time and attention to be able to go to video and podcasts. And I'm really excited for that. But I also need to make sure I have a system in place to do all of that well. I don't know that I'll get to that this week, but I'm hoping after this week, when I have a couple weeks off, I can use that time to develop that system. This shot was 100% a fail, and I will tell you why. I saw the sunrise was going to look cool. It was starting to get a little of that pink orange. And I thought, I've been messing around with the gimbal this week. Let me set up a tracking shot, me on the couch, and then pushing out to then reveal the sunrise. But I had to account for the different exposures. I could have just said auto exposure. I didn't want to do that. So I thought, okay, let me bring a light in here just to create a bit more of a fill light in this room. And then let me set up the tracking shot. Sunrises don't go for that long. So by the time I was done with all of that, the pink had faded, clouds had come in a bit, and it just looked gloomy out. My takeaway from that could be don't overcomplicate things just to get a shot. Just get the shot while it's there. True, fair, completely valid. Or, well, at least we tried, and maybe now have a better idea of how we would do it in the future so we could hopefully be quicker. So was today a failure? Yes, in terms of the resulting shot. No, in terms of the practice. At least that's the hope. Today was an animation day, and this was the my favorite animation that I put together. So let me just quickly break down how I did it. Main part of the animation was squeezing the grapes into the wine bottle. So for that, I used the mesh warp effect. What the mesh warp gives me is a mesh around the object that I could then distort in order to squeeze the object. And then I just used the wine bottle to hide the squished together grapes. Brought in a second wine bottle that I used a mask to make it look like it was filling up with the wine. So yeah, pretty simple animation. Just mesh warp, transform, opacity, and then mask keyframing. And I got my animation of grapes being squeezed into a wine bottle. Not a ton to it, but that's kind of one of the things I like most about it. I gotta make a vertical teaser from the work video I was editing earlier in the week. So this is what we're gonna do now. Somewhat unexpected. Mostly I could use what I had already edited together, just crop the sides of it. Mine is two parts that I will need to re-edit, but it's just moving some things around into a vertical frame. I promise you, I did not expect cutting the vertical teaser to be so simple, but it was honestly just a matter of reframing some shots. Cool. Last workday of the year. Sarah and Seb, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining me for this. Now I gotta do another podcast. Hello and welcome to the Digiday podcast. My name is Tim Peterson and I said Digiday like a weirdo. Hello and welcome to the Digiday podcast. My name is Tim Peterson. So, I didn't have my mic all the way plugged in for one of the interviews this morning, which should be fine. We record the Zoom audio as backups. Do feel like that's a sign that I need this time off.
Gently ringing the bell that brings the morning, the welcome of the dawn.